Welcome to webdevelopment-school.com. Today we're going to play around with variables in PHP. First, start off your editor. Then open a browser. Browse to localhost. Click the index.php file. And we need to open this file in our editor. So go to local disk, web server, Apache 2, htdocs, index.php. If you do not know what I'm talking about or you do not have a web server installed, check out my previous videos about installing a web server. In the previous videos we've created a little bit of PHP code, says something like this. And I want to rehearse this a little bit. Let's chunk it up. This means you're announcing that you're going to write PHP. This means you're done writing PHP. So PHP open, PHP close, if you will. This is a variable. This is the same variable. A variable is indicated with a $sign. This is a value, a string value. And this equals character means put this value inside this variable. So the string value hello world is inside title. And in this line we say echo, so print to the browser, title. And title contains the value hello world by now. Each line in PHP needs to end with a semicolon. So if that's where we were, I want to start off by telling you that this string can contain many of things. It can also contain HTML. So you can say, for example, h1 close. When we refresh it, we'll see indeed a heading 1 hello and world, the text beyond it. If we view the page source, we see the code we've got here. So it's important to know that you can write HTML inside your variables. Well, enough of that. Let's go back to what it was. It's also important to know that you can combine variables with direct strings. So you can write this like this way, or you can say echo hello world. These two lines do exactly the same thing as this. In both situations it echoes hello world, but here you put the string hello world in a variable and print that variable, and here you just print the string. But you can combine it. Let's say we've got a variable age 40 and a variable name Twan, my name. We can print a variable like this, age 40. Well, that's correct. And we can print another variable, say name, by changing this variable to name. But we can combine it with text. So when we say hello, I am, what this does is echoing the string hello I am. Well, that's just great. But when you use a point, a dot, you can paste a variable behind it. So you can say name. This says echo, so print to the browser, the string hello I am followed by the variable name. So in this case it'll introduce myself. Hello, I am Twan. Well, this can come in very handy, but you'll discover that in later videos. It's also important to know that we wrote a string here. The dot made sure that we pasted a variable here, and you can start off by writing some more text. So we're going to use another dot and another quote because we're writing a string. Strings need to be quoted. And I am. So now we got echo, which means, alright, you'll need to print this to the browser. And what do you need to print to the browser? This string, hello I am, followed by the variable name, which contains the value 1, then followed by the string and I am. And what we see here is that PHP creates one line out of this. Hello, I am Twan and I am. And the thing is, we can put another variable, just like the method with name, right after it. So now we say, okay, echo, so print to the browser, this value, this string, followed by this variable, followed by this string, followed by this value, followed by this string. And now we see, hello, I am Twan and I'm 40 years old. Well, you can just go on and on with this, it doesn't matter. But it's important to know that you can combine strings and variables. Another nice thing with variables is that you can do some math with it. Now, I hear you thinking, oh no, not math, I don't like that. Well, it's not going to get very difficult. We're going to just play around with it a little bit. So we're going to say number 1 is, well, 88, and number 2 is 12. Well, this just says, alright, the variable number 1 contains now the value 88, and number 2 variable contains now the number 12. And we can echo the variable, just like we did in the other example, 88, or the other variable, number 2, 12. But we can also do some little bit of math with it. We say, alright, echo number 1 plus number 2. Number 2. This shows 100. So PHP did the math for you. It says, alright, I want to print something. I want to print number 1 plus number 2. That's just wonderful. We can also multiply numbers. 1056. Or we can minus the values. So we can do a little bit of math with PHP just by putting a plus or a multiplier or a minus sign between two variables. And when we combine this to the example we just had, we could say, alright, echo number 1 plus number 2. Well, let me just make it a little bit clearer. Plus is answer. And maybe you'll notice that answer is not set right. We're gonna do that right now. Answer is number 1 plus number 2. So we say, alright, number 1 has the integer value of 88, so it's a digit. Number 2 is a variable, contains the value 12. And answer is a new variable and contains number 1 plus number 2. And now, just like we said, echo, hello, my name is, quote, dot, $name. My name is Twan. We combined a string and a variable. We're doing that just the same right here, but in this case we say, alright, echo number 1, then the string plus, and this is not something that's doing the math is done here, so this can be just like this. Echo number 1, which is 88, then the string plus, then the number 2, which is 12, then the string is, and then the variable answer. And answer contains the value, this value, number 1 plus number 2. Well, we can see 88 plus 12 is 100. Well, I want to leave it to that for today. Don't forget that every line ends with a semicolon. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video.